Eleonora spends the perfect Christmas with her family in Milan. Elegant dinners, expensive gifts, impeccable smiles. But when the holidays are over, there is total silence. No calls, no messages, nothing. Only then does she understand. For them, it was just an annual performance, an opportunity to show their relatives their close-knit family. The truth behind that silence will change everything. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss true stories of revenge, justice, and personal rebirth. My name is Eleanor Marchetti, and I am 28 years old. On December 27th at 11:43 in the morning, I realized that my mother never truly loved me. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a bad word. It was silence, a total, sudden, surgical silence, as if I had died on December 26th at midnight, and no one had bothered to tell me. Christmas Eve had been perfect. Too perfect, perhaps. The table was set with Limoges porcelain that my grandmother had brought from France in the 1950s. Bergamot-scented candles, Poli Pandoro cake served on silver trays. My mother, in her exquisitely elegant cream-colored suit, welcomed the guests with that radiant smile she only uses for formal events. I had arrived from Turin early that morning on the 6:42 train. I had brought gifts for everyone. A cashmere scarf for my mother, a Mont Blanc watch for my father, educational toys for my sister Beatrice's children. I had spent almost 800 euros, a third of the salary I earned as a freelance graphic designer. Eleanor, my darling. My mother had hugged me on the threshold, her Chanel 5 perfume always making my stomach knot. You are beautiful. Finally home. Finally. As if I had been away for years, not just 3 months. The lunch had been sumptuous. Seafood appetizers, handmade tortellini and broth, roast beef with rosemary potatoes. My sister Beatrice had told me about her new SUV, a BMW X5 that cost as much as my rent for 2 years. Her husband Andrea had talked about their last weekend in Cortina. The children were running around the living room, leaving crumbs of panehon on the polished parquet floor, and I was smiling, nodding, answering questions politely, and work, Eleonora, always doing these computer jobs. As if my branding projects for international companies were a pastime for a little girl. Yes, Mom. Okay. She wasn't listening anymore. She had turned to Beatrice. Tell me more about that new gym you opened, honey. Pilates and yoga, you said. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. On Christmas Eve, we were all in the living room. The fireplace was lit, the huge tree decorated with gold and silver baubles. I was sitting in a corner with a glass of warm Prosecco in my hands. My mother was taking photos. Lots of photos. Come on, Eleonora. Stand here in the middle. I had gotten up smiling. I had positioned myself between Beatrice and my mother. Group photo. Everyone smiling. Everyone elegant. The Marchetti family. Perfect. That photo ended up on Instagram the next day. Caption. Christmas with the family. There's no better place in the world. 243. Likes. Enthusiastic comments. What a beautiful family. You are wonderful. Merry Christmas to all of you. I had liked it. I had also commented with a red heart. Christmas Day had been quieter. Just us. A light lunch, gifts exchanged with smiles and hugs. I had received a scented candle and a book of vegan recipes. I'm not vegan. I never said I was. We thought you would like to experiment, my mother had said in that vaguely condescending tone. Beatrice had received a Tiffany bracelet. On the evening of the 26th before leaving for Turin, I had hugged everyone. My mother had held me tight. It was wonderful having you here, honey. Come back soon. Sure, Mom. I got on the 7:15 train with an inexplicably heavy heart, as if I had forgotten something important. But what? The first 2 days after Christmas had passed normally. I had sent messages, photos of my return to Turin, a photo of my cat Osvaldo, a video of snow falling from the window of my studio apartment. No answer. On the third day, I called my mother. It rang in vain. Then voicemail. Mom, it's me. I wanted to know how you are. Call me back when you can. Nothing. Fourth day. I tried with Beatrice. Same result. 5th day. Dad. Nothing. On the 6th day, I opened Instagram. My mother had posted a photo of lunch with her friends at the La Veranda restaurant. Beatrice had shared a story from the mall with the children. They responded to comments from strangers, but not to me. I wasn't blocked. Their profiles were public. I could see everything. But I had become invisible. On the 7th day, I called my Aunt Carla, my mother's sister. Auntie, sorry to bother you. Did you hear Mom? Yes, the other day. Why? She hasn't answered me in a week. Did something happen? Awkward silence. Eleanor? I don't know. Maybe she's busy. Busy for a whole week. Maybe she needs some space. Space? From what? From me. Auntie, what did I do? You didn't do anything, honey. But do you know how your mother is? She's complicated. Sometimes. I hung up with shaking hands. That's when I decided to do something I'd never done before. I opened the family WhatsApp group. The Marchetti. There were 6 of us. Mom, Dad, Beatrice, Andrea, me, and my grandmother, who had never understood how WhatsApp worked and had never even written a message. The last message was on December 24th. My mother, see you tomorrow? I can't wait. I replied with a heart. Total silence? Since then? I wrote. Hi everyone, how are you? Everything okay? Seen by all 5 of us. No response. I tried again. Guys, is everything okay? Are you ignoring me or is it a problem with the phone? Viewed? Silence. I felt my chest tighten. Tears stung my eyes, but I didn't want to cry. Not yet. So I wrote the last thing. If I did something to offend you, tell me. I don't understand what's happening. Viewed by everyone. Then, after 3 eternal minutes, someone started writing. It was Beatrice. Beatrice is writing. My heart was pounding. Then the message appeared. Eleanor, it's no problem. It's just that after Christmas we're all very busy. We'll talk later. Okay. Later. Not tomorrow. Not this weekend. Later, I replied. Okay. When? There was no answer. I closed WhatsApp, put the phone on the table. Osvaldo came closer to me, rubbing against my leg. I gently picked him up, holding him tight in my arms and burying my face in his soft gray fur. And it was there, in that deafening silence of my studio apartment in Turin, that I understood. It wasn't anger. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was much worse. To them, I didn't exist. I only existed. At Christmas only when I was needed to complete the perfect family photo. Only when there were guests to impress, relatives, to reassure, friends, to show that the little guys were a close-knit and happy family. The rest of the year, I was a burden. A stranger. A second-class daughter who lived in Turin, far away, uncomfortable, different. Write in the comments what you would have done and don't forget to subscribe. 2 weeks passed, then a month, then 2. No one contacted me. I stopped writing. I stopped calling. I deleted the WhatsApp group from the highlighted chats. I didn't look at their Instagram profiles anymore. I focused on work. I accepted new projects. I went out with friends. I adopted a second cat. I filled the void however I could. In February, I received a message from my mother. Eleonora, Dad's birthday is March 14th. Come. No, how are you? No, we miss you. Just a functional invitation. I replied after 3 days. I can't. I have an important project. It was a lie, but I didn't care anymore. Too bad. See you at Easter. So, Easter. Yet another recital. I decided I wouldn't go. But something inside me wanted answers. I wanted to understand. I wanted to look my mother in the eye and ask her, why? So at the end of March, I took a train and went to Milan. I didn't tell anyone. I arrived in front of their house, that 2-story villa in the Porta Nuova area, with a well-kept garden and the shiny brass intercom. I rang the bell. My mother opened it, and saw me standing still for 3 whole seconds. Eleonora, what are you doing here? Hi, Mom. Can I come in? She hesitated. then moved aside. I went in. The house was identical. The smell of cleanliness, the paintings on the walls, the muffled silence of the Milanese bourgeoisie. Dad is there, he's in the office, and Beatrice is at the gym. We sat in the living room. She, rigid on the beige sofa, me, with my hands clasped in my lap. Mom, I have to ask you something. She didn't answer. She waited. Why did you ignore me for 3 months? Ignored? We didn't ignore you, Eleonora. You're the one who hasn't written anymore. I've been writing for 2 weeks without getting a response. You were insistent. Insistent. Wanting a response from your parents was insistent. Mom, what did I do wrong? She sighed, took off her glasses and rubbed her eyes. Eleonora, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just that you're different from us. Different in the way that you live far away. You've chosen an unstable job. You don't have family. You don't have a home of your own. It's hard to relate to your own daughter. So I'm too different to deserve a response to messages. It's not that. It's that at Christmas, it's different. It's family, it's tradition, but the rest of the year we have our lives and you have yours. I understood everything in that moment. I wasn't their daughter. I was an accessory. A decorative element to take out during the holidays, polish, show off, and then put back in a drawer until the following year. I stood up. Okay, Mom, I get it. Where are you going? To live my life. I left that house and didn't look back. I returned to Turin, changed my phone number, deleted everyone from social media, blocked my emails. And you know what I discovered? I felt better, much better. There was no more anxiety about waiting for answers that would never come. No more pain from feeling invisible. No more burden of having to act the perfect daughter on demand. In June, I opened my design studio. In September, I won a national award for a rebranding project. In November, I bought my first apartment, small but mine. And for Christmas, I organized a dinner with my true friends. People who loved me all year round, not just when I was needed for the photo. My mother sent me a message on December 23rd. Are you coming for Christmas? I replied after 2 days. No, thanks. I already have plans. She insisted. But you're our daughter. You have to be there. You have to. We don't want you to be there. We don't miss you. You have to. I wrote the last thing I would ever write to my mother. I was your daughter in January, February, March. But for you, I only existed at Christmas. Now I don't even exist there anymore. Happy holidays. I blocked the number. And so it was that on December 25th, while they were probably taking the usual perfect family photo, I was sitting on my couch surrounded by people who truly loved me. I was no longer the forgotten daughter. I was Eleonora Marchetti, graphic designer, entrepreneur, free woman, and I no longer needed to act. A few months later, in March, I ran into my Aunt Carla by chance in the center of Milan. I was there for work. She was leaving a shoe store. Eleonora stopped. She hugged me. How are you, darling? We haven't seen you for months. I'm fine, Aunt. Very fine. She looked at me with those sad eyes that I knew well. Your mother, always talks about you. Really? She says that you've changed? That you're not answering me no more. I smiled bitterly. It's true. I've changed. I stopped waiting for them to see me. She looked down. You know that. She cried at Christmas. She said she missed you at Christmas, Aunt. Only at Christmas. She didn't answer. She squeezed my hand. I love you, Eleonora. You know that, right? I know. We parted. Ways too. She went back towards Porta Nuova. I towards the station. And as I walked, I looked at the gray sky of Milan and thought, maybe. One day my mother will understand. Maybe not. But I won't wait any longer. I learned that true love is not seasonal. It doesn't only come at Christmas. It doesn't turn on with the lights on the tree, and it doesn't go out on January 7th. True love answers messages, calls to see how you are, looks for you even when it's not necessary for the photo. And if someone loves you only when it's convenient for them, then it's not love, it's just an act, and I'm not acting anymore. Comment below if you've ever experienced a similar situation, and subscribe for more stories of personal rebirth.